Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. My name is Anne-Marie Chantal, and today I will be talking about the three principles of rapport. And notes are taken from When Buyer Says No by Tom Hopkins and Ben Katt. And I highly suggest you to go take a look and reading it. I'm sharing with you some of the notes that I just read from that chapter, and some part of the book as well will be in this. But yeah, hope you see value. So it's to keep talking about rapport. The last video was about that. And there are three principles of rapport that will really help you understand and establish a deep way, and why like deep rapport will actually increase your probability of selling. So the number one is buyer likes salespeople who like them. So having a common ground is huge. Like, have you ever noticed how friends act around each other's? Like, friends tend to talk to each other's at a similar speed, at a similar volume. Friends tend to adopt that similar behavior, such as their posture, the facial expression, the gesture. This same exchange of behavior occurs when you establish rapport with your buyer. You and your buyer will gradually begin to doubt to have the similar behavior. As your behavior becomes more like theirs, you will make it easier for your potential client to like you. So if you doubt this, think about this time you were with someone who use dramatically different posture and gesture than you do. Like, at first, you would have been probably a lot uncomfortable, trying to recognize what those posture and gesture means and why this person's acting that way. In fact, you're probably are trying to translate his body or her body language into something to which you could relate. Once the understanding was there, you probably felt more comfortable around that person. It wasn't a matter of whether or not the person was likable. It was more along the lines of whether you are understood, you did or not understood them, right? This is the goal of establishing rapport, to really help you and your potential client to feel that you understand where they're coming from, where they act, understanding them. When it's done properly, that understanding will lead to a level of like and trust that's stronger than anybody else, which is absolutely key. So that's the first principle of rapport. The second one is buyer tends to trust likable salespeople. Huh, interesting how that is, eh? I mean, it is a natural human natural. It's natural. Human nature. There you go. And it's true most of the time. It's especially noticeable when people you hardly know, like buyer who like you will trust what you say about your products to a greater degree than buyers who don't like you, right? And working against this reality of human behavior will adversely affect your persuasion to that potential buyer, right? You become likable when you do say things that put other people at ease. So, like earlier we talked about smiling and your posture and your behavior. Like, if you're somebody that's always negative and always complaining, it's a lot harder for other people to want to be around you and to believe what you're saying. So the likability is absolutely super important, and that's number two. Let's move on to number three, which would be the buyer likes to buy from likable salespeople. So it's about the same thing, but it's where they buy from this time, right? So have you ever had a salesperson you did not like to try to sell you something? I mean, perhaps you didn't like that person's personality or how they spoke, or I mean, do you want to buy from them? Do you want to do business with them? Like, you barely can be around them. Probably not, right? You'll find the same product somewhere else with somebody, and you'll fall in love with that. So unless the driven by like an immediate necessity for the products, most buyers do not want to buy or do business with salespeople that they don't care for, right? So please note that before, how do I say this? There's always a situation rather than, well, there's the penalty situation rather than the reward situation. What I'm trying to say here is just because buyer like, because it's not just because a buyer like something that they will automatically buy from you. However, if you do not like, um, if they don't like you, they will probably not do business at all. So if they don't, I'm trying to say that you need to become that person that they believe, they trust, and they like first before they can even do business with you. They might not still want the product. They might still want to, it might not still be for them, the product or service, whatever that is. But know that if they don't have that first initial, like, okay, I believe this person, I like, she's confident, she know what she's talking about. I don't even need to ask her. She owns that product or whatever that is. They know. So, but not because that person is confident that now your clients will necessarily buy. So those are two different things. But if you don't have the first one, you'll never move forward. Make sense? So an example is that I had. Oh, what was it? Supper. Hang on. It's interesting. Yeah. So okay. So you go to a super reputable industry, great reputation, a great company, but the buyer perceives that the salesperson is arrogant and condescending. They will be less willing to purchase, even though that company is number one in your country or whatever, right? Everybody's talking about it, but that specific salesperson is arrogant. They will most likely not have any purchase. They might come back and talk to somebody else, or they might just plain go to their competitor or go somewhere else with somebody that is more likable. It's really as simple as that. This is the biggest reality of persuasion. You must establish that and maintain a rapport during your entire sales appointment, like and before and after, and things like that. So be likable. Yeah, right. Be likable, because people want to buy from likable salesperson. And really, it's what those three things were about. Do you know what I mean? Like the buyer likes selling, the buyer like salespeople who like them. So be likable, like others, and make sure that you're always in that posture. So hopefully you had value out of today, and you can take this and move it along the way. So have a great morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are, and we'll see you on the next one.